Have you ever met someone who walked into your life when you didn't even know you needed saving? Someone who didn't fix your broken pieces, but gently showed you that you were never truly broken, just waiting to be reborn? This is the story of two souls, one tired, one hurting, who found healing in the quiet corners of friendship. There are moments in life when silence becomes louder than words, when you smile on the outside, but something inside you aches quietly, slowly, painfully. For Mara, a 62-year-old African woman with warm brown eyes and a heart worn down by the years, that silence had become her entire world. She lived alone in a small faded house at the end of an old street. Every morning she would sit by her window, watching the world move while she remained still. The neighbors waved, she waved back. But no one knew how heavy her heart was, how long she had been carrying a grief she never spoke about. Her husband had passed 10 years ago. Her daughter had moved far away, too busy with her own life to even call. Time had taken away people, memories, and dreams, but had left her with a loneliness that wrapped itself around her like a cold blanket. Yet Mara never complained. She cooked small meals for herself. She swept her porch. She smiled at strangers. People thought she was strong. No one knew she cried every night when the house felt too quiet. No one knew she sometimes asked God, "Why am I still here? What purpose do I have left?" Until the day he arrived, a young boy, barely 10, moved into the house next door. His name was Eli. He was thin, silent, and always looking at the ground as if afraid of the world. His mother shouted often, and his father was rarely home. Mara saw the sadness in his small eyes, the same kind she saw in her own reflection. One afternoon, she found him sitting on the curb, hugging his knees, tears streaming down his face. She approached slowly, gently. "Baby, what's wrong?" she asked in her soft, warm voice. He tried to hide his face, but the tears kept falling. "They fight every day," he whispered. "I don't know what to do." Mara sat beside him without another word. She didn't ask him to stop crying. She didn't tell him to be strong. She simply placed her hand on his back, a touch so gentle that he leaned into it like a child starved for affection. For the first time in years, she felt her heart beating for something other than her own sorrow. Days turned into weeks, and Eli kept coming back. He would sit on her porch, swinging his legs, watching birds with her. He helped her water her plants. He listened to stories she told about her youth, stories filled with music, dancing, and laughter she once thought she had lost forever. Slowly, her house began to feel warm again, and slowly Eli began to smile. Not the forced smile of a hurting child, but the real kind, the kind that lights up the entire face. Their bond was quiet but strong, two lonely hearts recognizing each other in the noise of the world. But healing is never simple. One evening, Mara heard shouting next door loud, angry, violent. Eli burst through her door, trembling, tears flooding his eyes. "Mara, can I stay here, just for a little while?" he begged. She pulled him into her arms, holding him tightly as if shielding him from the world. At that moment, something awakened inside her, a fierce, protective love she thought she had lost forever. "You are safe here," she whispered. "You are not alone." In the days that followed, Mara became the refuge Eli never had. She made him warm meals. She listened to him. She helped him with homework. She told him stories when he couldn't sleep. And without even noticing, she began to heal too. The ache in her chest softened. The silence felt less heavy. The nights were no longer cold. One day, Eli asked her a question that made her breath hitch. "Mara, why do you take care of me? I'm not your family." She looked at him, eyes shining softly. "Family isn't just blood, baby. Family is who your heart chooses to love." He nodded, but then asked quietly, "And who chose you?" She smiled, tears rising in her eyes. "You did, sweetheart. You chose me when you sat on my porch that first day. gave me a reason to wake up again. Eli leaned his head on her shoulder. In that moment, two broken souls held each other together, even if the world hadn't noticed. As months passed, Mara's house overflowed with warmth and laughter. Eli's grades improved. His confidence grew. He began to draw, paint, and dream again, things he had forgotten he was allowed to do. And Mara, she began to live again. She cooked her favorite dishes. She played old music. She sang while cleaning the house, softly, shyly at first, then louder each day. Her smile returned. Her eyes sparkled again. The neighbors noticed. People whispered, "Mara looks different. Mara looks alive again." But healing always comes with a test. One afternoon, Eli's pea